Henry Lasky was a loving husband, father, and grandfather, dedicated lawyer, thoughtful judge, and compassionate longtime JFCS volunteer. He was diagnosed with interstitial lung disease in 2002.
My feeling about my life is I'm just grateful. I've had an extraordinary time. I've had opportunity that I never imagined I would ever have. I was brought up in Albany, New York. I picked out the best parents I could have found. They were really wonderful. I had one brother who was 7 years younger. My mother was always engaged with the community, especially the Jewish community, either through temple affiliations or she was president of Hadassah. These were very important to her, and they got passed on to me. I think I was a great disappointment to my mother when I told her I didn't want to be a rabbi or a chazan. My father was a butcher. He had a meat market and grocery store. I used to deliver the orders, not always sit and chat with some of our customers. Some were elderly and not able to get out, which is why they called to have groceries delivered. And I always enjoyed that. It was great education. But I knew I didn't want to be in the store the rest of my life. When I remember pleading with my mother, I said, you know, Mom, if I don't go away, I'll never get out of that store. I just know it. And she said, don't you worry. Going to Cornell was really a life-changing experience for me. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I joined ROTC at Cornell. In typical military fashion, I asked for an East Coast assignment, and I got sent to Hamilton Air Force Base, California, in Marin County. So when you're stationed at Hamilton Air Force Base, you don't go back to Albany, New York, or, I stayed here. I took the California bar.
Henry went on to have a distinguished legal career, first as Deputy Attorney General for the state of California, then in private practice in both criminal and civil law, and finally as a federal judge known for his fairness, intelligence, and good humor as he heard cases for over 25 years. A father of 2 daughters, Henry faced challenges in his personal life after a divorce.
You do go through a mourning process. It's similar to a death in the family. There's all the steps, starting with anger until the ultimate last step is acceptance.
With acceptance came second chances, as Henry reconnected with Bonnie Berry, who he'd first met decades earlier.
I met Henry at the Officers Club when I was 17, and I was there with my parents at a party. I mean, wow, he looked like Tyrone Power.
And I looked at her and I thought, wow, she's really pretty. She is really pretty. And she looked at college age.
We dated for about 4 months until he found out that I was a senior in high school. Then
I was 25 at the time.
A very young 25, and I was a very sophisticated 17-year-old.
That's about right.
Yeah,
That's about right.
yeah.
And I said, this is not good. This is not good. And that was it. And we each were married to somebody else for 25 years. I always remembered, I thought she was very, very pretty.
When he divorced, he called my mother and he asked some irrelevant questions and then finally said, and how is your daughter? Anyway, we had a lovely dinner and he walked me to the car and he gave me a kiss and I thought, oh my God, okay, nothing's changed.
After his retirement at the age of 65, Henry turned to an active life of volunteering.
I got involved with JFCS because I felt I wasn't doing enough in the Jewish community.
With his decades of experience as a public servant, JFCS's Public Issues Committee offered Henry the opportunity to use his abilities to help a wide variety of individuals and families through advocacy and public policy.
The Public Issues Committee, you become very informed as to what the needs are of the community and how they can be addressed. What are the demographics? Is there any dangers in terms of cancellation or cutback in needed services? I can't tell you how many times I have been asked, oh my God, this has happened to me, what should I do? I say, call JFCS.
Mom lost her vision about 12 years ago. As you can imagine, losing vision is very isolating and brings up many difficult feelings.
Imagine what it's like sitting there blind, not knowing what's going on around you, and most of the time sitting alone.
And then Henry came along and made all the difference.
For 6 years, Henry came to visit me, and we had such a good time, happy time together.
I did that with the dog. This is with the therapy dog. The beauty of the JFCS Canine Corps program is it gives seniors who are isolated the opportunity to express love and receive love from an animal.
Sophie and Henry visited weekly, and Henry and Mom clicked and became
Good friends.
really good friends.
I set out to spend an hour of laughing with her, making her laugh. Everybody's got their story. Everybody has their narrative, and they want to talk about it if you give them the opportunity.
I truly loved that man as my best friend.
That's the importance of JFCS. It's a resource for help when people need help. The most current thing that I've really enjoyed was being on the palliative care task force. That's been very informative and very helpful for me in my particular circumstances. A lot of people think palliative care means you're dying, but it doesn't. It really has to do with leading quality of life, whatever life you have left, and being comfortable. They were very inspirational. It really made me focus on what do I want done for me when the time comes. You know, some people are very angry and fearful, scared, but death is part of life, and you accept. That's why I'm in such a wonderful time in my life right now. I'm accepting what's happening to me, and I'm grateful for what's happened to me. I've had a great ride. It's been a great ride. And I also learned what's important. It isn't about how much money you make. And it isn't about, awards or anything like that. It's about your relationships with people. I feel blessed.